Well, hiya, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Wanted to come to you today with a bookshelf tour. I had started this, what was it, a couple months ago, and then I went into at the end of school hiatus and wasn't making very many videos, and I need to get back to the shelf tours. A lot of people said they wanted me to go through the shelves and show you what I got, so here I am back at the shelf in my downstairs library. This is the Lincoln shelf, but there's one or two shelves in here that are not Lincoln books, at least yet. It will probably change over time, but at this moment I've got at this top shelf, because this is the shelf we did that very first time, this top shelf is some oversized books. So I thought I'd go through that today in this second video for our bookshelf tour. So away we go. Here we go. All right, so on this shelf with oversized books, this is The Torch is Passed, and this is one of those commemorative books that was done for the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And so as you flip through it, you know, it's got a lot of good pictures. It's got the story here. You know, going through through Kennedy when he went through Dallas. There's his wife, but you know, just a neat little commemorative edition. Then of course it gets into the sadness of the event with his assassination, but not a very big book, but still a pretty powerful book. And I know there's a lot of collectors. That have picked this up and put it in their collection. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Matter of fact, I had a second copy of it, and I can't remember where the second copy was at. But yeah, this one was in better condition than the other one I had. So there is the first book on our bookshelf tour. And by the way, that was put out by the Associated Press. The second book that I've got here is on Versailles and the Versailles Palace. This is a book that was put out by Newsweek out of New York. It's by Christopher Hibbert and the editors of the Newsweek book division. This is, let's see here, a 1972 book. And basically this takes you around let's see if I can get it up here. There we go. You know, it's got beautiful photography and stuff all about, you know, this one, you got some family trees in here. You've got beautiful photography as you go through it, and the story of the Versailles Palace. My wife, who was an art major when she was in, oh, how'd you like to have that library? Look at that. When she was in college, she was a art major, and this was one of the books that she had picked up and had in her collection, because she had a lot of stuff on different types of art. And so there's the next one on the shelf. Now here's another one. Some of this is in I believe it's Russian, and obviously I do not read Russian. I'm doing good to read English. So, but it's and I'm guessing here, Mstislav Dobozinski, maybe, and it's 1982, out of Moscow, like I said. But anyway, it's called Painting, Graphic Art, Stage Design, and this one's kind of neat because of the different, let me get to it, but you got the different artwork from Moscow is what I'm guessing, since it's produced out of Moscow. I'm not familiar with any of the paintings or anything. I don't think I've ever actually seen them before, other than this book. And again, it's all in foreign language, so I can't even read any of it. But it's a neat book, and it goes with my wife's art stuff. But it's an oversized book, so it ended up here on the shelf. And they're kind of neat to flip through every once in a while. Next book on the shelf. This one is kind of near and dear to me because my oldest daughter, she was a fairly decent writer, and she was a published author in a celebration of poets, and this one is grade 7 through 9, summer of 2016. This would have been my daughter's 8th grade year. And basically what it is from across the nation, people submit their poetry, and you can get your poetry, if you're selected, you can get it published in this book, in this anthology. And so, you know, you can see all the different states that are represented there. And of course, our state is Iowa. And she got published back here on page 18. As you can see, there is my daughter's poem. This particular one was on technology, but I just thought it was really cool because she was the only one. Every once in a while we get a lot of kids published in this, but this one was over the summer, and so she had to take the initiative and submit her poem. During the school year, our teacher, you know, collects all the poems and submits them, but in this one, she had to do it on her own. So that, to me, was even more special when she has to, you know, go take the initiative to do that. But anyway, yeah, published poets from the middle grade ages. Next big book on the shelf is The Story of the Declaration of Independence. And this is a former library book, but so it's not in the greatest condition. It's just an old book, but 1954 from Oxford University Press, and says pictures by Hurst Milholland and Milton Kaplan, and the text is from Dumas Malone. And yeah, it's just the story of the Declaration of Independence, and you can see a lot of the, you know, the paintings and stuff from that time period. Most of these I've seen before, but always kind of neat to have this book more. I probably have this one more because I'm a teacher, but that's, you know, kind of comes with the business there. There's old John Hancock's signature. All right, so here's a couple of books that are right up Peg at the history shelf, right up her alley. Some Osprey Military. These are Men-at-Arms series. I have numbers 170. Let's do 177 first. 177 and 179. And so you guys know me. I love the American Civil War. So American Civil War Armies 2, Union Troops by Philip Catcher and Ron Volstad. And, you know, Peg has explained on her shelf, or not on her shelf, on her channel, that the Osprey books that are on her shelf, there we go, they are really short. You know, this is 48 pages long, but if you look at the pictures and the artwork that are in these, it's a tremendous resource for anyone studying the time period. These would be great for kids, if you've got kids that want to do extra reading and are kind of nerding out on the Civil War or whatever topic there is, because there's, you know, you can see on the back here, and I did not pay that price, so ignore that price. But you can tell that there are a whole bunch of topics there that are covered. You know, just kind of flipping through, we've got the ancient world, the medieval world, 16th and 17th centuries, 18th century, Napoleonic period, just all kinds of different deals in there. So wonderful thing to have on the shelf, a nice thing to go to in when you're in a pinch and you're trying to visualize stuff. And this one is the American Civil War Armies #3, Specialist Troops. Same authors as the last one. And I think I forgot to tell you when it was published. This one was 1987 originally and reprinted. This reprint is from 1994. And looks like I still have the price tag. I only paid $3 for them. But again, same story. Great photography. Classic Civil War photos. Some you may have seen, but a whole bunch of them you probably haven't seen, because these are more specialized. And then, of course, the artwork. There's Meade and Grant there. That's just an in general engineer. It's not a particular person. But anyway, you can see the artwork in here, and then it explains everything as you go through. Again, only 48 pages long. So, you know, nice little quick, if you have an afternoon, you want to sit down for an hour or two, you can get through that. Here is, the next one is Northstar Shining, and I thought this was a really neat book. It was one of them that our library did a major culling of the herd a few years back, and instead of letting them hit the trash can, I made sure to go through and pick out stuff that I thought needed to be preserved and make sure it stays on a shelf somewhere, and a lot of them made it to my shelf, and this was one of them that was in the library. It's a really short, as you can see, really short work. It is 45 pages long, and it basically done in poetry. So, a pictorial history of the American Negro by Hildegard Hoyt Swift, illustrated by Lind Ward, and it comes out of William Moreau, and it is a 1947 book. 1947, so it's got some age, but it's really neat. The reason I got it, you know, it's all done in poetry, but look at the artwork. The artwork is really cool, and it, you know, talks about, like, here's Dory Miller from the USS Arizona. It's just got various people from, various African Americans from American history here at various points. There's Joe Louis. So you can kind of get the idea, and I just thought that was really neat, worth keeping, so hung on to it so it didn't get, you know, so it didn't find its way in the trash can. Let's see here. Next one is Bruce Canton's America, Selections from His Greatest Works, edited by Oliver Jensen. This is from American Heritage Publishing. Let's see. And it is a 1979 book. But if you're familiar with Bruce Canton, he's got a lot of really good Civil War stuff. If you're not familiar, you need to get familiar. But these are just, you know, pieces of his writing, some of, you know, small pieces from some of his major works. And it's got pictures going along with it. And real good thing for a Civil War collector. Next one is from the DK Publishers, which is, you know, many of you are familiar with that, but they are really good for making books that catch the interest of students. And not just students, me too. But this one is all, you know, World War I. Let's see. And who put this together? Let's see. H.P. Wilmot was our author of this. I'm just going to kind of flip through it real fast just to give you an idea. It's what a lot of these are for the pictures. I love the pictures to go along with all of the, you know, regular books. But let's see. I gotta squint my eyes. 2009 is when this one was printed. But you can flip through here, and it's the story of World War I in pictures. So you kind of get the idea. But it's got a nice little narrative that goes with it. You got little factoids all over the place. You got a lot of maps. So you can see the maps there. You got a lot of, right back there. You got your timelines on the side that kind of tell you what's going on at what time. And this one's wonderful because it doesn't just center in on Europe. It goes around the world. Like right back there was a section on Africa. But yeah, sorry, I'm flipping through, not showing you. But just all kinds of good stuff. And my kids at school love these. Sometimes when they're supposed to be reading, they're just looking at pictures. And I'm not dumb. I know that happens. But if I can at least get them to look at pictures that go with the material we are covering, they are typically more apt to actually start reading some of those little factoids on the side. And so we're kind of killing two birds with one stone, you know, getting the reading done, but also, you know, hitting on their interests. So the next one is a book on Gettysburg by Jack McLaughlin. It's Gettysburg, The Long Encampment. The Battle, the Men, the Memories. So this is an older title. It's from Bonanza Books out of New York, and of course it is done in Roman numerals, and I'll never be able to do the Roman numerals. So I'm not very good when the Roman numerals get real big. But again, another, just a story of Gettysburg, but it's got all kinds of photography to go with what you're reading about. And I'm a visual learner. And I don't remember if I've told you that, I probably have, but I'm very much a visual learner. I always tell the kids when I get a book, one of the first things I do is I go through. So like if I grab this book, I always go through before I ever read it. I read, the back. I read the different little captions and stuff, and I go through these pictures pretty thoroughly. And I'll probably do that 2 or 3 times before I ever actually read the book. And I do that because I'm a visual learner, and I want to have those pictures embedded in my head as I'm reading, because it just helps me to have information stick in my brain. And surely there's more people out there like that, hopefully. But that's the whole reason that I pick these up when I see them. I don't have a ton of them, but I do have, I got a whole bottom shelf full of them down here. So I do pick them up when I see them. Plus, when you can find it for $1 or $2, and it's like a super expensive book, just to give you, I think this one was one of them that was super expensive. Yeah, this is a $40 book, and I got it for $1 or $2. And actually, no, this one I probably got for $1. And it's a $40 book, but it's Benjamin Franklin in Search of a Better World, edited by Paige Talbot. And it is from Yale University Press, so you got quality there. And it's from 2005. And as you flip through, you've got lots of big, oversized pictures here helping to tell the story. And it's, like I said, it's from Yale, so it's got a quality text with it as well. But it tells the whole story of Benjamin Franklin. And glad to have that in my collection. Always good to have these. I get my youngest daughter ends up asking questions when she sees stuff on TV, or as we're I don't know, when we're just out and about and she sees, oh, Benjamin Franklin, the name rings a bell, but she doesn't know the whole story. So it's always fun to kind of come home and sit down with her and then show her the pictures and explain a few things. I don't have to tell her the whole story like I do with middle school kids, but I can prepare her for that and maybe catch, spark an interest with her. This next one is Campaigns of the Civil War, Photographic History by Walter Geer. And again, a book with some age, but that is okay because it's in really, really, look at the pages, crisp white pages, super good shape. And this one is from Kaneki. Now, the original copyright date was 1926. Now, there's no way this is a 1926 book. And the problem is I'm not seeing the reprint date on here. So I do apologize for that. But let me see here. Yeah, I'm not seeing the reprint date. It's a reprint. But yeah, real good book. Got, just like it says, lots of pictures and stuff all about Civil War, and I am a Civil War guy, so caught my interest. Oh goodness, this one you don't want to drop on your toe. It's the American Heritage New History of the Civil War, narrative by Bruce Canton. Again, quality right there. And then edited with an introduction by James McPherson. And again, high quality. I love both of those authors. They're two of my all-time favorite authors on Civil War stuff. I read everything they put out. This is also one of those books that I would have got. I want to say I just paid $1 for this. And it's a $50 book. If you're in Canada, it's $65. So I was super pumped to find this. Matter of fact, I think I may have found it at the same time I found that Benjamin Franklin. Let's see here. This one is from Viking Press. contributing editor Noah Andre Trudeau, which again is another big name in Civil War stuff. And this one is 1996, it looks like 1996. But just like all the other books, I know it's redundant, but look at the photographs in that one. Good stuff. And there's a lot of it. And this is kind of a cool way to, you know, if you're a kid and you want to say, I read a really, really big book, if that's something that matters to you, you know, this is a book that's 630 pages and there's so many pictures on it, it wouldn't take you all that long to get through it if you're reading it for the text. And I do recommend going through these for the text as well. I've got some down on the lower shelf that I've went through from cover to cover, and they are very worth, you know, reading the narrative that goes with it. Very well done. These next three are three books that put out by Time Life book, and they are from the Seafarers series. And this one is the Windjammers. And the whole reason that I got these three is I love the photography on these, and I love these old ships, and something about them that I always really, really like. But anyway, this is from Time Life books. This is the Windjammers, Oliver E. Allen, and it was done in 1978, it looks like. Revised 1979. So this one's the 1979 edition of that. But, I mean, you look at the end papers, you got really cool maps for the end papers. And then the photography's outstanding. Wonderful for the, you know, the picture side of things. So I've got that one. I've got the Frigates, which is absolutely awesome. I love those old pictures. And then this one is the Great Liners. And, you know, all of these got great end papers. And then just the photography is outstanding. So anyway, book two, that is the end of this shelf tour for today. And I hope you enjoyed that. Again, these are the big books. And I love having the pictures to go along with the reading. I think that's an essential thing if you are a visual learner like myself. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're finding time to get some reading done. And yeah, until next time, happy reading.